Guys, this is my container garden. I started this garden in 2020, and when I tell you it did not look like this, it was completely different. It was just cinder blocks and 5-gallon buckets, and now I have expanded. As you can see, it's still a work in progress. It's a lot of work. Cherry tree right there, blueberry, my grapes. All these are actual flowers with herbs. Same over here. You're probably gonna see some weird stuff like wire those wires on top with a rock. Is because of the squirrels. I even feed them. See that? That's their spot. That's their spot. I feed them. And one just saw me and ran up his freaking tree. They're greedy little critters. But I put fresh water in here every day, and I do a mixture because they like apples, they like fruit, pecans, peanuts. I put every type of thing I could think of. They get a mixture of everything daily. Whew. This is my dehydrator, the natural dehydrator. You just put this in here and let the sun do its work. Alright, got my compost, one of them. I turned it, and then I made the other one with a tote. Forgot how big the tote is. Well, I just put things in that one. This was an experiment. I have no idea what I'm doing with it, but it's an experiment. This is 45 gallon. So I took a 45-gallon tote and made it into a compost. So, like I said, when I first started, all this was not here. It was just cinder blocks. Everything is sitting on cinder blocks in these 5-gallon buckets. And when I tell you I grew everything out of 5-gallon buckets, I grew corn, I grew tomatoes, I grew bell peppers, you name it. It actually works. Now, when you get to a certain variety of the plant that you want to grow, you have to go bigger. You cannot just do 5-gallon. You have to go bigger. These are all my black eyed peas. And when I tell you it's easy to grow, you just throw it in and nature takes over. All those 18-gallon totes are my black eyed peas, and they grow super tall. As you can see, they just vine up, and I just use some bamboo sticks and trellis them up. Here is my basil, one of them. I have a lot of them. All these are flowers. I just planted those. That was corn. I'm gonna have to start over. Like I said, the squirrels came in. Whew, they did some damage. That's my peppermint. This is one of the watermelon plants. One of them. You can see several plants inside of one container, but it's big enough, and I trellised them up. These are not the big watermelons. These are the baby watermelons. And you can see one growing right here, you guys. How cute. But I keep them here with me. This is a container of strawberries. Beautiful, right? They were actually releasing runners, so I had to put the runners inside of the container beside it so they can keep prospering. My cantaloupe, got the trellis on there so it can trellis up. It's in here with some thyme, and this is my catnip I actually got for my mom because her cats, it wasn't even her cat, stray cat started tearing into her plants. So I was like, get some catnip, and I still have to give this to her because I don't grow catnip, but I went to Lowe's and got it for her. Okay, you see my basil? How beautiful is that? Okay, it's expensive in stores. Now, it's really hard to find now, so I decided to grow it. And I'm going to harvest it soon, and I'll show you guys my process of harvesting. It smells so good. Okay, that's my ginger plant. It was so tall, I had to chop it down, and now it's starting to regrow again. You got my onions, and that's one carrot. I pulled up the rest of them, to be honest. Remember I said I had lots of watermelon? There you go. More plants. Not playing. Basil again. That's another basil. That's a pepper plant. Those of you who know, this is asparagus. This is how it looks. It grows super tall and frilly fern looking, but I put the squirrels was tearing it up too. So what I did was put some blood meal in here, and it keeps them away. I love marigold. Got my cosmos growing in here with it. Got a lot of things. What I learned is companion planting is your friend. This is my clematis vine. It's growing up. It's growing up. You gotta just guide it. Pretty much. It's growing up. As you can see, this is the greenhouse. What's inside the greenhouse? Wait a minute. This is one of my greenhouses. Let me show you around. That's a bell pepper plant, one of them. Squash was in here. I had to get rid of it because it was dying. That is another bell pepper with basil. That is a tomato plant, determinate. It's not going to grow really tall, but it's growing tall with a basil inside. And I'm just waiting on it to produce flowers. That's another pepper right over there in that bucket. Then coming over here, you have my toad with cabbage and beets I recently planted. That black container straight in the center, 3 plants. You have key lime, lime, and lemon. They can last about 2 years in that container before I decide to plant them in their own pots. Ignore the plants over here to the side that I am trying to grow in their little pots. And I'm experimenting. I can't lie, I'm experimenting. Now, that little container at the bottom is where I hold my water, and I'm setting up the irrigation thing. You're going to see a Coke bottle with water in it at the bottom. That's to weigh it down because it's light. Dirt at the bottom comes from rainwater, the soil in there, but it's filtered out by my irrigator. It's all good with that. And I just replenish that water every day. That's my fan to keep my air circulating. That little fan is powerful. You don't want air to be stagnant. Those are sheer curtains that I had in my home. I didn't buy any shade cloth. Sheer curtains work just fine because I have big trees surrounding my home as well, and that just helps out. Now, that's all in my greenhouse. I have some terracotta pots that I was using as a irrigator, and that's what I'm using to weigh down the outside of it to keep anything from crawling inside, critters. That is the solar irrigator right here. It's charging, as you can see. But let me show you pretty much how it works here and the amount of water you want to release into your let me see, can I pull this out? See, oh my, wait. Okay, so you can set the timer on here, the interval, and how much water you want, start and stop. I got that from, where did I purchase this from? I got it from Amazon. Yes, there's a lot of soil in here because I use this on a regular. I close it because I don't want mosquitoes coming here reproducing. But I just filled this up a few minutes ago. And it's just a regular garbage can. Regular garbage can. Over here, I have another greenhouse. Y'all, when I first started, this was my only greenhouse. This little thing right here. I kid you not. Now I have covered my baby. It's getting so big. This is the grapefruit tree. This is a lemon tree, starting off little. This is a mandarin. Look how big it's getting, and I'm gonna have to, I keep the net over it because everything gets in here. When I say everything gets in here, I can't have it. If you're not a bumblebee or a bee trying to help me out, no, I'm not letting you in. And I don't see any type of blooms on here, so I'm not going to uncover it until I start seeing blooms. When I start seeing blooms, then I will unnet them and let the bees take over, or let insects take over. Oh, yeah, I know it's kind of messy out here because I still am cleaning. But this garden is a year-round garden, believe it or not. See this rosemary over here, my lavender. This is a tall hibiscus. Oh, I have to name it that. But this is a year-round garden. And if you want to start container gardening, you're going to have to get containers. The reason I said it was expensive is because you have to purchase manure. You have to either make your compost or purchase your compost, and that's going to take time. This is pretty much what I use right here. Got it from Home Depot. This is my compost manure, and a lot of this, once I purchased it, it's a one-time investment. I can cook it. When I say cook it, I mean I pour boiling hot water in there to sterilize it and reuse it. Just replenish it or amend it. So I don't keep going out to buy unless I'm adding more to the garden. But first off, if you're going to start container gardening, you need containers. I started off with 5-gallon buckets, and like I said, I did the whole garden with that. And I expanded as I got a little bit more into it. Now I only plant what I cook, what my family cooks, and what I eat. I don't plant just to be planting. No, I don't do that. I do this year round. So in the winter, I will plant things like spinach, and I'm here in the Mississippi area. Hot in the summer, it's sometimes hot up until November, but during the winter I plant winter things that I eat. And of course, you know, the flowers are not going to grow. These things are not going to grow. They all go dormant. Everything goes dormant during the winter. Yeah. All my flowers go dormant during the winter. But you got to think about where the sunlight's going to go, where the sunlight hits in your yard. That's where you position your plants. I don't like anything sneaking up on me, so you see that space under there, I make sure that's open, that I can see through. There's nothing hiding. No little rats or rodents or snakes. No, I don't like that. That's why it's kind of open here, because I don't like anything sneaking up on me. And what did I go over? What did I review? Y'all probably can't see that woodpecker. It's so beautiful. Look at him. He's so pretty. He does work. All right. But as I was saying, ooh, I see wasps coming in. I'll let them do their job, y'all. Is there anything that I forgot to talk about? Containers. When you get your containers, if you decide to do it, the best way to do it is know what you're planting. When you know what you're planting, then you know the size you're going to need for the root system. Because if you get a small container with a large root system, it's not going to thrive, it's not going to grow, it's probably going to die. You need to know the root system. You need to know the plant before you decide to just stick it in a container. Okay? Some can tolerate 5 gallons, some need much bigger, like 45 gallon or 18 gallon or a large pot like that. I don't even know how many gallons that is. I just saw it was large enough to put what I wanted to put in there, and I did it. My little thing's spinning. I put those reflecting flowers up there for the squirrels because I heard they did not like things that move and reflects. Also the birds. But I'm not really worried about the birds. I actually invite the birds because it's nothing for them to eat except bugs, and they can have fun with that. So, container, I'm out of breath because I've been working. So I went over the containers. I went over the soil makeup. If you stick it in your yard, you still might have to put in your own soil because your yard may not be enough. You have to add in soil to the yard. And the position your sun is in throughout the day. Where does your sun go around your house? How does it move? That lets you know exactly where you can put your container. Another thing about container gardening, you can move it. It doesn't have to stay still. You move it to follow the sun if you want. Me, I'm not doing all that. I'm putting it in a position to where I know the sun is going to contact it most of the day. And you're definitely going to have to come out and make it your business to water if you don't get a lot of rain. I come out and I also spray my plants, my fruit plants, with a solution of baking soda, water, and a little bit of Dr. Bronner soap. Mix it in a spray bottle and I spray it just to keep the aphids away, and I check on my plants every day. So yeah, that's it. And that's what I started in 2020. I wish I had a little picture to show you, but I don't. Just know it was real spacious out here. It was almost like a minimalist type situation. Like none of this was here. None of it, you guys. But as it grow and change, I will be sure to show you if you're interested in it. And that is all, you guys. Until next time. See you later.
To stay in the loop of random tips and facts, be sure to subscribe. Stop, click, learn, and live.